Well, the most recent Fallout DLC has been released, and reviews are mixed, to say the least. Interesting choice of words. I almost feel like a parrot repeating myself. But this DLC is fairly lacking. Honestly, I can't justify the price. I mean, if you have the Season's Pass, then, you're going to be downloading it anyway through Steam because it just downloads automatically. Really, it's nothing special. For the $5 price tag, it's very bare bones. It's almost insulting. Now, the community has backlashed at this to an extreme extent. There are many unhappy people. The DLC does have its defenders, but really, I don't know how you can defend this. Yes, the DLC is fun in the sense of it's interesting, just a little bit of it. Like, there are some things you sit there and go, okay, that's cool. But the overall consensus is most of the stuff that they give you is already in the vanilla game. This DLC plays more like an update. And for those who bought the Season's Pass a long time ago, it feels like an update, so it doesn't leave that much of a sour taste in one's mouth. Still, it's not justifiable for the price tag. When you think about other games that put out DLC, like CD Projekt Red's The Witcher, let's see, their DLC right now, Hearts of Stone, it's Hearts of Stone, that's like $8, and there's way more content in that one single DLC than the most recent 2 Fallout DLCs put together. Now, unless you're really into base building, then this DLC doesn't offer much, in all honesty. It really doesn't. It really does not. I can see console gamers thinking that this is great because consoles don't have the luxury of mods. This leaves such a sour taste in the mouth of many. It leads to a lot of people speculating that Bethesda's been dragging their feet with the GECK simply to put out these really lackluster DLCs, knowing that once the GECK comes out, they won't really be able to just drop these because most people who don't have the Season Pass won't bother to get it because mods offer the same stuff except for these like stone walls and the cages, but I'm sure mod authors could make it very easily and get it for free, honestly, which is the biggest selling point of mods. But also, even if this was free, which it probably should have been, or no more than $1, still it pales in comparison to what modders can do and have been doing for a long time. And that's what's upset many in the PC community. I really don't know what to say. Part of me does like this DLC, but the other part of me knows that it's just so lackluster that it is not worthy of any sort of praise. And it can be harkened back to the horse armor days of Bethesda. Am I surprised by how weak this is? A little bit. I was expecting more, and I'm just kind of surprised. I really am. I don't know. I feel bad for anyone who bought this DLC that didn't have the Season's Pass. My recommendation with the way Bethesda is doing things right now, if you didn't buy the Season Pass before it was raised to $50, I would say don't bother. Unless, now this is the reason why I bought the Season's Pass. 1, I got it for $20 from Green Man Gaming. And 2, I know that modders are going to be using these resources in their mods. That's it. For me personally, I pretty much love mods so much that I bought the Season's Pass knowing there was a good shot that it wouldn't be anything too special. Honestly, to me, the Season's Pass was more resources for modders. That's it. And I wanted to be able to enjoy every mod that came out for Fallout. That was pretty much my only goal. If you bought the Season's Pass knowing that you weren't going to be getting something too amazing from Bethesda, and you were getting it solely for the purpose of knowing modders will take these things that Bethesda puts out and make them better or give us stuff we'd actually want, then you wouldn't be upset, because I'm not that upset. I understand that this is a very weak DLC, but I also know what's going to come of it later with modders. So if you go into it with that attitude, then you won't be too disappointed. That's the best way I could put it. In fact, people have, the comments that have been left for this DLC are nothing short of staggering. The anger and vitriol. I'm going to put the same effort into my review as they did into this DLC, and that was the end of it from Regal Hog. The Butt Fairy says, simply put, mods have done bigger and better for free. Abstract Theorem. Now, this person actually has a very astute evaluation. This DLC follows the current trend where anything under $10 is basically a complete waste. Unless you have money to burn or completely obsessed with base building, skip it. and if you must pick it up, grab it when it comes on some bundle or Game of the Year edition. When you compare the price of the DLC title to the price of the original product, you would think that the ratio would be created, giving you a rough estimation on how much content you are going to get for each dollar you have spent. Obviously, this ratio would be very accurate, but you would at least expect to get some sort of guideline based on it. Example, Wasteland Workshop MSRP is $4.99, round off to $5. Fallout 4 MSRP $59.99, round off to $60. 5 divided by 60, you get 1/12. So, one would expect to get somewhere around 1/12 of the original game's content in the Wasteland Workshop DLC, but instead you get much, much less. Fallout New Vegas DLC cost roughly $10 a pop at the time of release. Each DLC contained new talents, new weapons, and new maps, and new quests totaling around 5 to 6 hours of gameplay. Automatron costs $9.99 and gives us a handful of new items and a new enemy faction injected into the map we already have, one new settlement, a new robot building mechanic, and 3 new quests totaling 2 to 3 hours of gameplay. Yet people praise it for being better than expected, instead of pointing out that it was roughly half of what it should be. Wasteland Workshop costs half the price of Automatron. Do we get at least somewhere around half the content of Automatron? Hell no! This DLC is essentially a handful of new items to build at your settlement. Is this DLC the 2016 equivalent of Horse Armor? No, Wasteland Workshop is much better than Horse Armor, although being better than the worst DLC Bethesda has ever made means nothing. It would seem to me that Automatron should have cost $4.99, and this pile of crap called DLC should have been free content introduced with a patch, and I wholeheartedly agree. The thumbs down pretty much go on endlessly. There are people who gave it a thumbs up, I'm sure, because the reviews are mixed currently, and the overall Steam rating for this is 3 out of 5, and steadily dropping. Is it 3 out of 5 or was it 3.5? I mean, not 3 out of, not definitely 3.5, I mean 2.5, I can't remember. But overall, people are very, very upset with this. Bethesda has essentially turned a great deal of the community against them with this move, and I wonder what will they do to fix it. Probably nothing. They know that they're going to make their money, they've already made their money, and they know that they can keep pumping out Fallouts. I mean, in Elder Scrolls. There's a good chance we'll all buy them. I don't know about me. I'm probably going to wait to see if the next Fallout, fingers crossed, is done by Obsidian. I really hope Obsidian does the next Fallout. If not, then I don't know, man. Maybe my days in the Wasteland might be numbered. Or I may just get it to review mods for people that enjoy it, even though I myself find Fallout to be lacking what made it great in the first place. Oh boy, I've talked for far too long. I'm not that angry at the DLC, but I understand people being angry at the DLC, and I support their anger. I mean, they have a right to their opinion, and I actually agree a great deal with the disillusionment most people are feeling with this DLC. Really, Bethesda, they're definitely not doing their old fans any favors with this, nor are they doing themselves any favors. But then again, this is marketed towards newer game players, people who are new to Fallout. That's the whole point of Fallout being sort of made easier to get into. They were basically chasing a whole new gamer market, which are the people who are accustomed to Destiny's MMORPG. I don't even know how the fuck they think Destiny's an MMO, but whatever, you know, whatever floats your boat, whatever tickles your pickle, as Gina would say. Is this worth your money? That's the overall conclusion. Here's my overall consensus. If you are into modding Fallout, in time, like when the GECK comes out, I'm sure modders are going to take all these resources and do something really amazing with it that we will be amazed by, because frankly, it's all modders do. Modders come in and make Bethesda games worth playing, in my opinion. If you don't have the luxury of modding your Fallout the way you like on your PC, or you're currently on a console, well, is it worth your $5 if you don't have the season pass? Not really, unless you are just madly in love with base building and you have no means to get any sort of mods. Like, that's it. That's all there is to it. I don't know. It's oh, don't forget to rate, comment, subscribe, and thanks for tuning into my channel, even though this video is very melancholy, to say the least.